the Azure Site Recovery. So it is the business continuity and a disaster recovery solution that can help you to ensure that you have almost zero time objective or minimal RTO and RPO compared to your other third-party BCDR solution. It has the capability to replicate your data into a secondary data center and also replicate your data back to the primary data center, which is awesome, right? So it is called the business continuity and disaster recovery. So if you're on premises and you're thinking about the concept of resiliency, then you should be looking at the business continuity and the disaster recovery solution, because it acts as an agent that's constantly monitors your environment, and when it has done the full replication of your data into the cloud, stored in an encrypted vault, okay, your data is constantly being scanned and analyzed, your environment or your servers is constantly being scanned and analyzed, and when there are new data, it quickly, replicates the data to update the incrementer in the cloud, and when you fail over to the cloud, it happens in less than minutes. And when you fail over to the cloud, and then your primary data center is back up, you can fail back to the cloud, and all of the data you have used or you have been able to feed the secondary data center with, you can fail back those data to the primary data center. So it has that capability that is called the bi-directional replication. It is called the Azure Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery. Let's move to the next slide, please. Yeah, so across your hybrid workforce, okay, there are key solutions that are big players today when it comes to hybrid cloud or hybrid protection. So you have the Defender for Cloud, you have your Microsoft Azure Arc. Talk about your Azure Monitor to giving you, uptime availability of your workloads or critical application, server and application monitoring, your server monitoring as well, giving you insights to your application, sending you alerts and notifications in real time, what's going on within that environment and how you can mitigate against those downtimes, what kind of issues are happening before even it happens, and you can start to troubleshoot, to gain more insight on what's happening. These are the solutions. So you realize that within the Microsoft ecosystem, they have integrated AI into all of the solutions across application, security, your data, your network, to give you a better user experience at the end of the day, right? So across your security posture and compliance, your server protection, and you can also use AI for automation and management at scale. So moving over to the next, right? I'm going to talk about just a glance of, if you are concerned about application monitoring, how you can ensure that your application has the right solution for cross-site scripting, SQL injection, SSL attacks. Talk about scalability, high availability. This is the application portfolio for you. You can use things like front door for DNS redirection, having 2 data centers, and if one goes down, automatically users' traffic is being directed to the secondary data center, hence ensuring that you have high availability of your application. Talk about your web application firewall, to ensure that it serves as the frontier for your critical line of business applications. It goes through, series of scrutiny to ensure that whatever users are accessing your applications are legitimate users. Talk about application gateway load balance to distribute user sessions across, identical virtual machines that are hosting, or applications that are hosting your line of business application. And it goes on and on, DDoS protection and the likes. So these are solutions that can help your business today to ensure that they stay resilient, highly available, against attacks, because we are in the world of digital transformation, the new reality of work, and that is how threat is also growing. AI is being a big player in the industry, so you need to understand on how to integrate AI solutions to your existing processes to ensure that you work smart and get the best benefit out of those AI solutions. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk about the Fortune 500 on the next slide, companies that have actually trusted Azure for their business today, and you're one of them. And each of these companies, one way or the other, has also integrated AI to their businesses, their processes, their applications. And that is how they are being competitive in today's era. You can be one of them, or you are already one of them. So I would say, to wrap it up, it is key for you to understand the concept of your business and understand that AI is the next big thing. Data is in abundance. having the right processes in place and knowing where to integrate or infuse AI into your solution can help the business stay competitive in today's era. Thank you very much, and I'm open for any questions. And if you think you want to have a one-on-one interaction with me, for me to understand your business and make further recommendations, I'll be happy to have that, one-on-one interaction with you. So I'm open for questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kennedy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So as he said, Kennedy will be...
Next generation AI and power virtual agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box.
I want you to explain further, how does it work? What do I need to put in place to implement it? And then I want to also understand what are some of the things I need to put in place to set up the Microsoft endpoint security. Those are some of the things I need to put in place to set up the Microsoft endpoint security. Those are the first two questions I want to ask. And we are all talking about AI, and we know that it is the way to go. But then so you come to understand that what is happening now is the AI is picking information a lot, and it's picking people's data, and then it's using it to better things up. But then I want to ask, don't you think that it's going to start selling data? They are going to onto social media. All those things start to pop up. For example, I was talking to a friend. I wanted to buy a spray, a specific one. Before I could say Jack, I opened it. Somebody was selling, and it was up there, just for me to go into it. And I was like, how is this coming up? You understand? So I'm looking at it, and then I get scared over a period of time. And I'm in the banking sector, in the financial sector. So I'm asking you, if I should start putting my data there, which is very valuable to me, isn't AI going to start using those data, sell the information to other people? That's my question.
Okay, beautiful 3 questions there. Let me start with the last one. So I'll ask you back a question. So when we talk about AI and selling people's informations, first of all, let's for a minute forget about your infrastructure. Let's talk about the general AI people are using, right? This is one of the questions I actually had when I was in one of the AI conference sometimes 2 months ago. And someone asked the same question, right? So you need to understand that when you're using AI, okay, you need to think as well as a security expert to know what kind of data you need to feed or information you need to feed it with. So think about like your ChatGPT. You don't want to start feeding important information into ChatGPT because it is key information within the organizations. So you want to ask basic questions and all of that. But when you're talking about core AI solutions that can be integrated to your processes or your business, right? You are integrating it not to sell your information, but to enhance the business, to have a more seamless process, to assist you, ensure that you have a more seamless experience with your solutions. So for example, you can integrate AI to your PowerPoints, your Word documents, you can use it for project management and the likes, right? Azure OpenAI or ChatGPT has already been integrated. So there are different AI solutions. You have the ChatGPT, which is the free for all, and you have the ChatGPT, right, that is already integrated into Microsoft solutions already. So Microsoft is aware of this, and also you need to also start thinking of how you can ensure that you have the right security solutions to protect your data. So across your information, what kind of security solution would you want to set or put in place? Think about Azure Information Protection, which can protect your data, encrypt your data to ensure that external users are not even able to access the data because it is encrypted. That's an example. Talk about other security solutions at the infrastructure level that can help your data, ensure that your data is secured and encrypted from the outside world, right? I have OpenAI on my mobile phone, but I would never ask or go to start putting in important informations. In fact, I barely even use it, to be honest. I only want to, sometimes when I'm wanting to be curious to know how intelligent the AI is, then I ask some critical questions across the business or that are technical and see how it can help or make recommendations for me. So does that answer your first question?
To some extent. The reason why it's to some extent is you have not told me to what extent the AI actually is going to be infused into my system. Now,
Okay.
what if it gets to the time that they improve it to start searching for things within your system, trying to understand things? It starts to build. So put this movie in your mind, iRobot. I don't know if you've watched it before.
Yeah.
So the machines begin to learn things that you don't even expect them to go there. And it now tells it that, allow me, I'm supposed to go there. That is why I'm saying that to some extent.
So I don't know if you are diving straight to the next segment. Yes. So that's actually what we'll be discussing in the next segment. So let's wait for the next segment. Yes. You have other two questions?
Yeah, he has two more questions.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so for the second question, right, you have, if you're concerned about endpoint protection, right, Microsoft has put in place a lot of solutions to ensure that you have, those in place. So you could also use things like, whatever kind of firewall you're using, right, to ensure that you have the best protection against anti-malware and the likes. Microsoft Cloud also has the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You have the Azure Microsoft Endpoint Protection solution as well that can be infused or installed on your devices or your servers to give you real-time insights and analysis of threats and malwares that are actually might be crawling within your devices or your users' PCs and all that. So these are the examples of solutions. So if you're already using Microsoft 365, there are other suites of solutions like Microsoft Defender for Endpoints. Okay, that's a solution that is specifically for endpoint protection. You can have your Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which can also give you recommendations on endpoint protections and use the Microsoft anti-malware, which is a Microsoft solution for, specifically for endpoint as well. So there are quite a number of solutions that can be used or integrated, to your devices, your users' accounts to ensure that users are secured, because we know users are always, wanting to go to the internet. They could download some stuff, get malicious files and the likes, okay? So you need to have that in place as well. So I would recommend, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. It has the Microsoft anti-malware, or you could also use your Microsoft 365 Defender for identity, for endpoints to protect against your devices, to protect your devices and users' PC. So do you have a follow-up on that before I move to the first question? Yeah.
Do you need Intune to be able to use it?
If you need Intune. So Intune, right, is a mobile device management, right? So Intune on its own, it works as the System Center Configuration Manager, which for managing devices, pushing applications, distributed applications across devices without having to go to individual systems to do that, right? So Microsoft Intune, it works as the traditional SCCM, okay? So you do not need Intune to do that, okay? All you need is the Microsoft Defender for the identity, or you can use the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Install the agents on those devices, okay, and ensure that you're able to check against threats and all that. So You can also use Intune if you want to have it installed at a large scale across the organization. Maybe you have up to 500 users or more or less, right? Then you want to use Intune to push the agent across devices without having to do it individually on all individual systems, right? Now, to your first question on Azure Virtual Desktop. Okay. So when we talk about Azure Virtual Desktop, okay, what do you need? You literally do not need anything. You can literally set it up on the cloud. Probably maybe you have, let me give you a scenario. If currently today you have a custom application or an ERP application, all users need to access, or certain sets of users need to access that ERP application internally, right? You can have Azure Virtual Desktop set up, install that ERP application within that desktop, okay? And have your users access that ERP solution concurrently. So all you need to know is, to set it up, is how many users will be needed to access the ERP solution concurrently. Once you're able to do that or know that, and what kind of line of business applications would you want to have within the Azure Virtual Desktop, then we can now recommend how many the specifications of the CPU of VM that will be required for that desktop infrastructure to be able to accommodate concurrent users, and each user will have their own profiles and login. Okay, integrated with your Azure AD or your on-premises AD. That way, they are using their own, username and password to have that single sign-on to the virtual desktop infrastructure, right? So, then that eliminates the need of, corporate PCs. They could usually use smartphones, tablets, and personal PCs, and even their Wi-Fi network without even having to have the firewall, because the system or the desktop in the cloud is secured, right? They are only accessing from that PC. So that PC acts, or that tablet acts as a gateway to the desktop where all of the applications, the critical data are stored, and you can access it from there. So hence, you can enforce all of the security mechanisms that you want to enforce at that level, MFA and the likes. So I don't know if you have any follow-up question on that.
Which physical assets do I need? Because maybe I have people working on the field.
Okay.
And they have PCs already.
Okay.
So now I'm taking the desktop from them, right? So now, do they still need the monitors to work? Or do we have to get something extra, like maybe the thin client, the way the thin client works?
No, you don't.
I want to understand how this one works.
Yeah, so you don't. It is a desktop in the cloud. All they need is their personal PCs or tablets to connect to it to work, right? So they don't need any special device to connect to it. All you need to ensure is that for remote users or field users, they are all managed within the Azure Active Directory or your on-premises Active Directory. Once they are part of the users within your organization, all you need to do is create a user account for them to access the desktop, and they have their own profile to access the desktop and access critical workloads or applications, data as well. Does that answer your question? All right, thank you. I don't know if there are any further questions. Yes, please.
Okay, so mine has to do with the difference between Windows Virtual Desktop, Azure Virtual Desktop, and then the Microsoft Windows Cloud PC. Because all these products, it seems to do the same thing, but he has different names for it.
So you said three things, but two are the same. Windows Virtual Desktop, Azure Virtual Desktop, and Cloud PC. Two are the same, and one is different. So Cloud PC is like an add-on to your Microsoft 365, okay, that can be enabled on a user's account to enable the user access that single PC in the cloud and have his Teams, his OneDrive, data, and all that, Outlook within that Cloud PC. So it's a single user. When we're talking about Azure Virtual Desktop, it provides you both single user and multi-user session, where multiple users can access the desktop concurrently Even critical applications, your ERP applications and the likes can be installed on that desktop. You know, your entire team, maybe the finance team or the sales team or the customer service or the critical applications can be hosted within that desktop. It's not just for it's not just Windows 10 or 11. You can even have your Windows server having multi-session experience where multiple users are accessing it concurrently. So that's the difference. Cloud PC is just to a single user, right? While the virtual desktop can be designed in such a way that it can be for a single user or for multiple users accessing just one desktop concurrently. The real scenario where I would say Azure Virtual Desktop for a single user is if that user needs to do a lot of high-level video graphics, you know, editing and the likes. Then you can have a dedicated virtual desktop for that single user to do all that with a high specification, okay? But having a single desktop and having more users concurrently connecting to it because they have their individual profile, then they can access applications within the virtual desktop. That is what makes it different from your cloud PC. Any follow-up question?
So,
all right, thank you. I think I see a hand there.
yes. Okay, so this is what we'll do. I see our interest has already been ignited, but this is what I'll do for everyone. Let's book a session. We'll allow each and everyone to book a session so that each individual's concern will be addressed. Okay, yeah, because I want us to quickly have a coffee break, then we can continue. Okay. So Kennedy will also be around during the coffee break. I'm sure we can interact with Kennedy as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
With a round of applause. I told you he's a star man. He's a star man. He has taken all my time. Let's clap for him until he gets to the back. Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, we appreciate. We appreciate. So the next agenda was supposed to be a secret, but Joseph has already ignited our interest, so no problem. Joseph, after the show, you have to pay me some CDs because it wasn't your job to do that. It's my job. Yes. Okay, so we need to stretch our legs a bit. Let's have a coffee break. I can give you guys 20 minutes, 20 to 50 minutes. Let's just take a coffee and we'll get back. But before you go, I want us to build a networking, build a relationship. So the hashtag for today's event is AI Transformation 2023. AI Transformation 2023. We are live YouTube, Facebook. So take a picture with someone, post it anywhere, and just give us a hashtag AI Transformation 2023. You don't need to ask permission. Just look to your left, right, take a picture of whoever whoever is sitting beside you, then post AI Transformation 2023. Yes, I have given you the mandate. Please go ahead, do that. Yes. So let's have the coffee break. Quickly, when we get back, we have a lot of things packed. We'll talk about data in the future of work. We'll talk about trust and ethics when it comes to AI. And we'll talk about leveraging AI for advanced cyber threat detection and many more. Yeah. So let's quickly go for the coffee break. But I want to see the pictures as you go. Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Next generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual Agents builds it. Next-generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual Agents builds it. Next-generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual Agents builds it. Next-generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual Agents builds it. Next-generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual Agents builds it. Next-generation AI and Power Virtual Agents is changing how you develop low-code chatbots. Boost your conversations by connecting the bot to multiple company-specific resources, like a public website or an internal knowledge base, to quickly provide relevant answers, right out of the box. And while many conversations can now be automated with next-generation AI, makers will have more ways to build high-priority topics. Simply describe, in natural language, what you would like the bot to do, and the Copilot and Power Virtual Agents will build the topic for you. And you can continue to refine the topic using the Copilot right within the authoring canvas. The future of low-code starts today. Imagine it, describe it. Power Virtual